Let's get this segment going here. We're dual streaming on TikTok and YouTube. Fun stuff, guys. Anyway, this video is from Oompaville. It's called The Josh Block Situation Is Said. I'm curious about it. I think I'm in it a little bit, you know, being a TikTok gooner myself. So let's get it started. I'm curious about this. Let's just get it going. Oompaville makes usually pretty good content, so let's get it going.
It seems like over the last couple years, the internet has been really good at making vulnerable individuals incredibly popular.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a thing that's been going on for a long time. There's like a network of people who like to harass people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Like, for real, it's terrible. It's a horrific thing. And these people don't necessarily know how to handle everything. Sometimes they take some of the trolling at face value, and it turns into bad outcomes. It's interesting because years ago, there was a pretty big initiative on TikTok. People were upset because they were upset that TikTok was suppressing people with disabilities. And the reason that was happening was because they didn't want them getting bullied. Obviously, if you have a disability, you deserve to be able to be a content creator. So that wasn't the right way to go about it. But now we obviously have this problem, and I think that there needs to be better vetting, especially I don't know, it's so hard to do because it's usually young people who will harass these people because they think it's funny and they don't really necessarily have that humanity and personhood or that empathy required to properly deal with these individuals. It's so unfortunate.
I run the city now, me.
I got the jonkler here.
Fans that these vulnerable individuals get the fans, they engineer the down.
Oh, dude, I forgot what that guy's name was. Is that Michael something? That guy's like a real bad guy. He's a real scumbag.
Fall of these people, lolcows.
I forgot what his name is. Michael? Is it Michael? Not Michael Klum. That's the guy who did the Boogie documentary. No, I forgot his name.
Do it, let's go! Yeah! Everybody get in a group. Whoever's on the Oh, are you here?
I got my hat on. Yes, we talked about Minnie on the channel. Minnie on the channel. If you are sensitive to this kind of thing, don't watch this video, all right? Thank you to ZocDoc for sponsoring this video.
Well, hi there, feller. Well, hi there.
Being an adult has a lot of pros.
Oh my God.
You can eat as much candy as you want, and no one will tell you not to. But when you've eaten a metric ton of candy in a week,
You guys know the deal. I gotta watch the ads on these.
and you need to call a doctor, it shouldn't be a chore to find one. And then subsequently, schedule
That's what you do, dude. If you're gonna react, you gotta do the ads. Okay, the Oompaville ad.
an appointment with a healthcare professional. Today's sponsor, ZocDoc, will help you with that. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors. You can choose the right one for your needs, and
It'd be nice if I could actually search for buying healthcare easier. It's such a pain. My wife and I are trying to figure out how much it would cost to do healthcare if we didn't do it through a company. And the reason is because one day we've talked about her quitting her job if I can do this full time, but it's impossible. It's a pain.
instantly book an appointment with a healthcare professional. From mental health
Oh,
to dental
turn up
health,
the audio.
from eye care to
I'm so sorry. I totally forgot about that.
skin care,
guys
and
are
many,
good.
many much more. You can filter which doctors take your insurance. It's a pain in the ass. All this stuff, ZocDoc makes it really easy. Whoa! Whoa! You can filter doctors who are nearby who take
Is the audio better on YouTube?
your insurance. You can see who's highly rated by verified patients. You can see their appointment openings, etc. You can choose a time that works for you. It makes it very, very, very simple. And you click to instantly book a visit. Plus, ZocDoc appointments can happen fast within 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even sometimes get same-day appointments. Health is something that I take massively seriously, and in the event I need to visit a healthcare professional, I use ZocDoc. So does my parents. I have actually my dad. Both
I use Aetna.
of them, you've used it. Go get a checkup, brothers and sisters. Go to ZocDoc/Oompaville. Support the channel. That's ZocDoc.com/Oompaville. Go get your health check. I have put off making a video about this fella for quite a while.
I just spent $65 at an airport bar for 2 drinks.
Yeah, that's why you probably shouldn't drink at an airport bar, Josh. It's not exactly the best place to drink. My understanding, and I could be a little ignorant on this, is that people with I think it might be autism, might have a higher propensity of addiction to some substances, which is extraordinarily unfortunate.
They can't do that. That's highway robbery.
No, it's airplane robbery.
I put off making a video about Daniel Larson for quite a while, actually until he was in jail.
Well, I mean, Daniel Larson is even more difficult because I don't think Daniel Larson's a particularly good person, whereas Josh, I don't think is a particularly bad person. I just think it's almost like an unfortunate situation. And that's the most person-centered thing that you can understand is that people with disabilities can also not be good. But I feel bad for Josh certainly more than Daniel Larson.
April 25th, an arrest warrant was filed for Mr. Larson, detailed 7 charges that for threats that he'd made and some extent.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Larson needs to be taken off the streets and like put in some kind of a facility. He's a danger to himself and other people, and needs to be like, that's just what needs to happen with him.
Ended out through 2023. So they've been keeping track of this man. This one is different, but still, it's not looking good. There's a lot of terrible shit that's happening around this.
Oh, is that what it is? People with ADHD and ASD, was that autism spectrum disorder, have a higher rates of substance abuse? That kind of makes sense because I'm somebody with ADHD, and I don't know. I feel like you get very impulsive. I don't know if that makes sense. And you kind of like.
Today we're talking about Josh.
Want that quick buzz,
Joshua Block.
I tried calling 911. Unemployed brats. I make $80K a month, okay? Now we're
Damn, he's macking it, dude.
brand new.
I wouldn't doubt that. You can make some decent money, across social media. I just don't think that Josh's long-term content strategy is particularly lucrative. It seems to be based on people really just trolling him in some capacity, or some people who actually like him that want to do like his tour or maybe a cameo, but then his cameos can sometimes be disappointing. They can be sometimes disappointing, which I've heard from people. They'll ask him to do a cameo, and then they'll pay him like $60, and then they barely get any value out of it.
New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. That's my impression of Joshua Block.
In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
You've probably seen this fella, and if you watch my channel, you've probably followed him for at least a short period of time.
Yep. I remember the good old days when it was just him yelling in New York, having a lot of fun. I remember Curly Daddy 101 was friends with him and tried to help him out, but like it can be very difficult to try to help somebody, in that situation. That's why we have a general robust network of people who help individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, because it can be very difficult. I'm not even sure Josh would qualify for those services because he's very, lack of a better term, high functioning, but.
Oh my god.
He is.
Maybe like assisted living in like an apartment or something. That could be really good for him, honestly.
Was a quirky, endearing guy who posted lighthearted videos.
But he would probably need to like a lot of. It's difficult being in any level of celebrity status. Like I'm like a micro celebrity. I'm like a nobody, but I still have enough attention for it to be bizarre and difficult to kind of deal with, especially the inconsistency of being a content creator. And I'm not somebody who struggles with that has the same struggles as Josh. So, I can't imagine it could be additionally difficult for Josh to deal with some of these
Videos onto TikTok.
Forever drunk. I want to be forever drunk.
Jesus Christ.
His content was not flashy or polished or even good.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you a little secret. Kmart sucks.
It was just engaging
Kind of based. A little based. I like Kohl's. I don't even remember the last time I've been to a Kmart.
to the average person.
School stands for 7 cruel hours of our lives.
Kind of true. I mean, school does kind of exist for, obviously, to learn. Not just the academics, though. Also learn to sit still for 7 hours and take orders from people. That's why when you go to richer schools, which I've never been to, but they generally have a different structure of how they teach, and it's more about you flexing your brain and and simulating in that way to make more meaningful decisions rather than to listen to people. It's also a daycare center. Because parents need to work, and I understand that too. I don't think that that's necessarily completely terrible, but I think that there can be some fixes to it.
MAT stands for mental abuse to humans.
Then again, not every teacher has the ability to teach their course, but then also to mentally stimulate these young people well enough to get them to be able to make their own meaningful decisions. Thank you so much for the medium gut on YouTube from Hiborg for 23 months. Jesus. I appreciate you and that you indulge and slop with us almost 2 years of this banquet. Incredible stuff. Thank you, Hiborg. I love you.
And homework stands for half of our energy wasted on random knowledge.
This guy was
Wow.
earnest. He seemed
Kinda
like
based,
Ernest P.
actually.
Worrell. No, not Worrell. Ernest P. Worrell, but in New York, and it's really gotten bad.
You're
It's a
too
little base.
sweet for me.
His original quirky and fun content included off-key singing,
Baby, I don't understand. You're changing. I can't stand it.
lip syncing,
Wow, I'm even getting some education on this. I don't remember any of these. So I wasn't around for all of these different things.
with no lip movement, which is awesome. Stiff, almost robotic
stiff thing.
dancing. You see it.
I've never seen a robot move like that. Okay. I've never seen a Jerkmate robot move like that.
wasn't exactly run-of-the-mill rising social media star antics. I think that's why people loved him so.
Well, he's a fun guy. Josh is a fun guy, you know. But, you know, everybody's fun before their crash out. I'm sure people thought I was more fun before my, you know, we've all had our crash outs. They just seem to be worse for some people than others. All right, guys. Now the Oompaville crash out just happened.
I love the dancing. It's so good.
Oh,
His
here it is.
epic dance moves. Why you always in the mood? On around like a brand new. He knew exactly how to appeal to his new audience, and he stood apart from other content creators like myself. You know, he wasn't as cringe.
The official Instant
True.
Pot Facebook group
Same.
continues to be one of the darkest corners of the internet.
What the The early content had charm. His deadpan and emotionless delivery.
Yo, pumpkin spice latte check.
Very relatable. Thank you. I just got some kind of a pumpkin. Oh no, I got pecan from Starbucks yesterday. My wife likes Starbucks a lot. I don't really understand why women like these things, but they do.
His performances were incredible. They were marked by stiff awkwardness and almost distant 1,000-yard stares. A gaze that
I think part of this is just his autism, bro.
was difficult to understand. The gaze seemingly resulting from his focus on trying to move his body instead of make his movements look
Yeah, I can see why the gays would focus on that.
natural. Also, not to mention, you probably noticed it, the stark contrast between the blank expression and robotic-like dance moves and the upbeat songs that were often chosen. This game
Mr. Bass just calls it called a cash cow and is milking it. Cash cow and is milking it. Yeah, that's what I heard. Unfortunately, it's, you know, I don't know. Here's the thing. I mean, it's a delicate conversation to have. I don't think that Josh shouldn't be able to be a content creator. That would be ridiculous. He should be able to, you know, be a content creator like anybody else can. I would just be nice if some of the people that are surrounding him actually had his best interests at heart, and weren't just completely warped by the desperation to maintain relevancy like that Mr. Bass guy seems to have as well. So
gave Josh's old content an absurd kind of humor that the audience loved. It was like, oh, haha, this guy's.
And I know for a fact that like Josh probably, well, not for, I guess it's not a fact then. I can almost guarantee that Josh took it extra worse, just like everybody took it bad after 2020. After 2020, you know, people blew up pretty quickly because of COVID, right? That's how it happened to me. And I remember when those COVID numbers started going down because people went back to work and they weren't consuming content as much. It was frustrating to try to figure out my place. And I can imagine that's, you know, equally, if not more so for Josh. You know, I've been very lucky and I've found my place, but like it can be really frustrating and you know, even depressing to try to figure out, like, even just trying to understand, like, oh, why? Like, why did my views go down? You know, sometimes you don't put two and two together.
It's crazy. This guy's wacky.
And he also has a really nice voice. So it looks
Okay.
like Capital One just got hacked again.
Base.
I can't call in customer service. When I do, it says, we can't take your call due to technical difficulties. Thanks for
How often are you calling them, man? What the hell?
nothing.
In the beginning for Josh Block, it wasn't about the technical skill. It was about the authenticity that he brought to the platform. Okay.
He found a niche that works. I think he's more aware than we think. I think that Joshua is aware, but he's not aware of everything necessarily. Also, one of the things that probably frustrates Josh that, like, I don't know if anybody's really considered is the way that TikTok decided to shift their monetization scheme into. TikTok used to monetize. Well, when I first started TikTok, I started before monetization. When they implemented monetization onto TikTok finally, it was for everything that was on the platform. It wasn't just for videos over a minute long. And so you can monetize everything. I think it came out originally, it was like you'd get like $50 per million views, which was pretty good back then. I mean, you get you make a 1 minute long or 5 second long video, make $50 for a million views. It's crazy. That eventually dropped down to I think like 25 to 30 as they always had a flat amount of money inside the whatever it was, the creator fund or whatever they called it back then. They shifted to minute plus videos, the only thing that you get monetized on. And so Josh, I can't imagine, I don't know if he necessarily shifted. I haven't seen him on TikTok in a long time. I don't know if he necessarily kept up with the content shift that you're supposed to do. You know, I don't know if he kept up with that content shift and like understood like your content strategy kind of has to change to fit that metric. And it does pay better, you know, that now instead of $50 per million, it's like $500 per million to your first $4,000. It's like a whole thing. But I don't know if he necessarily shifted to be able to deal with that. So.
Hey, well, that didn't last long.
Forever drunk. I want to be forever drunk.
Now he's kind of gone off the deep end.
Josh, you got it all over my floor.
Oh God, it's still there.
It's all going on the floor.
Michael Quinn, that's the name of the guy I'm thinking of. That guy that was like legit, like taking advantage of Josh. Like that. I remember the one thing, I covered it a long time ago, where like he seemingly stole Josh's bags, and then Josh thought he lost his bag, so he was running around distressing for like hours about it. And then you see even Michael Quinn make like a cheeky face in the camera, like ha ha ha, like he thought it was funny that he was distressing him. I mean, like this is unfortunately the people that Josh is surrounded with, you know. And people will ask like, well, why would Michael Quinn do that? He's rich, and I think it's for fame. He just wanted to be famous. He didn't need the money. I think he was like a hot dog guy. He could put down a lot of hot dogs in his mouth or something. I don't really remember what it was. And like he would take advantage of Josh. It's just like unfortunate that these are the people that he ends up getting surrounded with.
He's such a fucking mess. I gotta now clean my whole house. Josh, you drank none of that, Josh.
I did drink a lot.
Jesus Christ. Look what Josh did. Look at that. He just ruined my house.
I'll try to be respectful as I possibly can. Obviously, this person probably shouldn't be posting on TikTok and needs to get help in real life and find help and stuff. But like, there's a lot to unpack here, and this is very complicated. So give me some grace. All right, give me some fucking grace. I suck.
You are not middle.
He's an adult, and Based is his friend, not his dad. I think that I don't think that it's a bad perspective to have, to understand that there are some people, especially those with intellectual and developmental disabilities, that might have a different interaction with the world that's not good when you take advantage of them. You know what I mean? I understand Josh has agency as an individual, but that agency is going to look different with different people. And obviously it's going to look a bit different for Josh, considering his disability. So I don't think it's a bad thing to keep that in mind. I don't think that makes you a bad person to understand that. You know, I have a different perspective a little bit because my wife is a behavioral specialist for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So I have a little bit of a different interaction. Before I met her, I didn't really, for lack of a better, really, I guess, term, I didn't necessarily care as much about people in the IDD community. So it's been like a long empathetic trip. But, you know, yeah.
Fuck you!
Okay.
No, Josh! No, get over here!
According to an interview he uploaded to a now dead interview-centered YouTube channel that he created, Josh first downloaded TikTok in July 2019. Years and years ago, pre-COVID.
What made you decide to start posting on TikTok?
Well, I downloaded the app back in July.
My wife made me start posting on TikTok. That's my answer.
At first, I downloaded it as a joke. I would only go on there to look at stuff.
I honestly don't think that Josh would be relevant at all if it weren't for COVID. I think a lot of people wouldn't be relevant if it weren't for COVID. COVID really lowered people's standards for consumption.
That is true. Well, it's not just COVID that lowered people's standards for consumption. I think it's also TikTok that lowered standards for consumption. People like that. Like they like the short form content being blasted into their brains. You know, it's shifted our dynamic pretty drastically. People do TikTok for pooping now, and they'll do longer form videos for other things. Funny enough, TikTok's trying to shift that mentality into longer form content consumption, which is why they've been pushing live streaming. That's why they've been pushing minute videos. So the dynamic is changing a little bit.
West Coast kitty cat killer, yeah, I kill that cat.
And TikTok really blew up and captured the minds of the people, the hearts and the minds. Step one of propaganda.
I'm your guilty pleasure.
Oh my God, is that JoJo Siwa, the least problematic creator I've ever seen?
Anyways, back to the channel. It's interesting because Josh made it to do interviews with famous TikTok creators.
Welcome to World of Interviews, a YouTube channel where we do podcast interviews with famous TikTokers.
And still the only video on the channel is an interview of himself conducted by someone who seemed
Is that Polo Boy? Oh my God! Why? Interesting that I remember that.
about as young as he was at the time, as Josh was at the time, perhaps a classmate at his school.
I wanted to know more about
Oh, maybe it's not Polo Boy. It doesn't sound like him. It almost looks like him a little bit. Is he wearing that Teddy Fresh? What the hell?
your live streams. I noticed that they haven't been banned multiple times.
Yeah, they got it happened to me like 3 times.
At this time,
Yeah, that's what I'm nervous about. My TikTok potentially like something happening in the live stream and then it getting banned and then having an issue with my TikTok like general revenue. Because the TikTok's been pretty good for short form content. They really are the leading short form content creators. This is why I'm like this is my first content stream on here because I'm like anxious. You know, I don't want to get some kind of an infraction or whatever on my page, you know, but we're taking the risk, I guess.
Josh had already amassed an audience of 241,000 followers on
Whoa.
TikTok, which he amassed
That was a lot more back then than it is now. And now anybody with 200,000 followers, it doesn't even matter. But back then, that was a lot, you know. I remember when celebrities first came to the platform. Start stealing my views, dude.
his dedication to the grind.
Okay.
Josh's star would truly begin to shine when he filmed videos in public, though. He either didn't care what the people around him would think of his antics.
Yeah, a little based. I could never do content like that. That's too. I would be too like distressed about that, you know.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do.
Or never thought what he was doing could be out of the ordinary because he never once displayed a single shred of embarrassment, self-doubt, or anything that I would feel, to be honest. I would be like, hey, sorry, guys. Hey, sorry, guys. I'm really loud right now. I don't sing this off key.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it worked for him, man. There's content. Sometimes that content can work.
New York.
Not for me, but
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
Normally, if I sing, I try to sing off key, and it's hard to sing off key. Now you're in New York.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do.
Josh would take his song and dance eventually to Times Square.
isn't that that's a Kanye song, right? Right, New York is a Kanye song. Or no, wait, hold on.
Pinnacle of human culture and civilization in the West.
In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Who makes that song? Is it Jay-Z? Oh, dude, that makes me. I'm sorry, guys, for being racist. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Not also bad, although much arguably worse. I feel bad for Ye. You know, I am Jewish, but he did. I give him a pass because he did make graduation. He did make graduation. Okay.
There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
Traveling here on top of.
Oh wait, Jay-Z is not. He did. Oh my God, I did it again. I just got them confused again. I don't think Jay-Z did anything wrong except he cheated on Beyonce, which is not right. Okay. Damn. That was so unintentional that I mixed them up 3 times in a row. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is Alicia Keys in that song too? Damn. Sorry, guys. I'm also getting older. Okay? I'm also getting older. Give me a break.
Of the attention he received online for his sheer bravery and spontaneous performances, yelling in front of pedestrians and...
I can't believe I messed that up so bad. I got Kanye confused with Diddy and then confused with Jay-Z. Incredible. Okay.
The most crowded places in the world, now Times Square.
I run the city now. Me. I'm the captain of the ship. I run New York. This is my city.
It was the ultimate
He went full Jorkler on that one.
marketing strategy. Not only marketing yourself to
Oh
TikTok,
my
but
God.
also the passers-by who happen to witness him as they go about their day and might see him on TikTok.
Yeah, you know what, Josh? Because I live on Long Island. Josh is a bit famous. People will sometimes see him stomping around Long Island. So that's interesting.
Talk later.
I run the city now. Me. New York is my city. This is my city. You got that?
It seems like this is the point in which Josh went massively viral, screaming,
Oh,
New York! On the famous red steps
Don't clip that.
in Times Square.
In New
Yeah, I got to finish my own DEI training, guys. Sorry.
York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
That's where I really, maybe not first saw him, but first was like, okay, this guy's got something. This guy's got something, and I need to add that to my repertoire of things.
In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are
This literally never gets old.
made.
I'm pretty sure this was in the height where like you can make money off of the short form content on TikTok. So he was making these, getting millions of views, and he was getting paid for it. And then again, that shifted pretty drastically.
There's nothing you can't do. Now you're in New York.
Just kidding, I didn't think any of that shit. But it was like, okay, this is interesting. This is pretty funny. New York! Kid's got pizzazz. What can I say?
New York, concrete jungle.
Now he's not getting paid for TikTok. Yeah, I don't think he is. I mean, again, I haven't looked at his stuff in a while. I don't know if he's doing like the minute over content. I think he's trying to make money through live streaming now, which is why he's associating himself with that Mr. Based person.
Where dreams are made of.
It was at this very moment that Josh's goal of being an internet celebrity and self-employed was real. It crystallized. Now, you probably can tell up until this point
I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? It's a great, if you can make it work, it's a great job, I'll tell you.
that the quantity was more the focus for Josh's content as opposed to the quality, and somehow it worked out for him massively. He grew an audience rapidly, and once he hit his stride, he hit the grind, never stopped, all the way to 900K followers by February 2021. Then, another month later, March 2021 to June 2021, he saw a meteoric rise all the way to 2 million. Oh my God, what the fuck? This guy's got what it takes.
New York! Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
This young sumbitch was only 20 years old and had millions of followers, more than most people have when they're 30. All right. Anyway, some people at his high school.
Yep, I remember, man. I think I had 2.4 before the unbased ban, but kind of my fault. Let's be real. So
Considered him to be an inspiration. We found a mini documentary about Josh becoming TikTok famous.
I remember that. I reacted to that, guys. I reacted to that video
With interviews from his teachers, even his grandfather, whom he lived with. Interesting.
Hi, my name is Josh.
Yeah, I think unfortunately is
To a block. I'm a senior
It's terrible stuff.
at Patchogue Medford High School. When I created my TikTok account, I never thought I would become an influencer.
The documentary details many aspects of Josh's life, and it offers a
Mr. Base makes $20,000 and gets Josh 100. Wow, incredible. Josh needs to become more self-aware so he can this doesn't have to work for him anymore. Makes his own content.
look behind the curtain about his struggles as a child, overcoming adversity, and how he grew into the success that he had achieved. It provided a never-before-seen perspective on the man behind the song and dance. Things were really smooth at this time. It was good. It was good. It was beautiful. It was like, oh, this guy's awesome. This guy's cool.
It hasn't been easy, you know, for him. He's been dealt some tough cards, but Josh has kind of just tackled it head on.
That little mini doc was pretty well done, posted on a small channel, so shout out. We'll have a link down in the description for that. It was created by a guy named Benny Miggs, who is from the general area where Josh lives or lived. I'm not exactly sure. From the beginning of the mini doc, it talks about autism and how it can affect students' ability to learn and socialize with other students, adults, any type of peer.
Autism is a classified disability. In simplest terms, it affects students' ability to not only learn, but to interact socially, interact with not only adults, but also their peers. It's really just something that, you know, is actually plaguing a lot more people than we think. And Josh just tends to be one of them that has really taken it to a new level and shown us that those barriers can be broken down.
And this is
Yeah, and it can be very difficult for for parents to try to help their kid with that because it's, you know, you don't necessarily know what to do exactly. That's why there is, especially in New York at least, there's a pretty robust network to help people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I wonder if Josh would legitimately qualify for it. At least for an apartment. There's assisted apartments. My wife, one of her parts of her job is that once a month she'll visit people at apartments and just kind of see how they're doing and help them with their behavioral support plan. That might be something Josh would qualify for, you know?
This description comes from the special education teacher at Josh's high school who commended Josh for overcoming these challenges. Really important context, right? This guy's got autism. He's struggled. He's got special needs, and he's out there in the world, and he's got nobody. And now there's a lot of bad stuff happening right now, and he needs help. And it's a cautionary tale, right? We've got Daniel Larson as well, also victimized, autism for sure, whole bunch of disorders. Now he's in jail. I don't know if that's gonna happen to Josh Block, but feel like some bad shit's gonna happen if we don't figure this out a little bit and make this not happen anymore. Also, he's a raging alcoholic and probably will.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any one good thing that comes out of this situation is that I think that there's a little bit more awareness for people with disabilities. I think every day people get a little bit more empathetic to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and understand that things are, not as black and white as they seem.
Die from cirrhosis. Anyways, back to the doc. Josh introduces himself as a senior in high school who never imagined that he would create such a influential TikTok.
When I created my TikTok account, I never thought I would become an influencer.
Even though it had always been his dream.
It was always my dream to become
It's crazy. It's never been my dream to be an influencer ever.
famous on a social media app.
That humility is a common theme, by the way. In the other interview from the defunct Josh Block YouTube channel, he says that he downloaded the app as a joke to watch content. So it's just it's not a serious thing. It's not like he tried to set out to start a career.
Well, I downloaded the app back in July. At first, I downloaded it as a joke. I would only go on there to
Josh,
check,
what's the joke, Josh? No, I'm just kidding.
to look at stuff.
It's interesting because this really
I downloaded. My wife told me to. She said, download this this. I want to send you memes. And then a star was
Shows that
born.
you don't have to have a plan or really a work ethic. You can just kind of do shit. You can just do stuff, and then sometimes it'll work out even. If you just do stuff and you're
Well, at that point, I mean, there was no meaningful pathway to like success as TikToker. So.
interesting enough, autism or not, you can go pretty far. And this was a while ago, to be fair. And now the whole thing is very toxic and bad and scary. But even back then, Josh could not escape internet users having great amounts of fun at his expense. He would regularly receive offers from brands offering to sponsor him, and it turned out not all of them were legit. He had to verify their legitimacy.
Yep, it's very difficult to verify somebody being legit, and even now, even people who are not trying to troll you, there's like some opportunistic people who like want to be part of some, I don't know, facility or some kind of a network or agency. They we can help you with your this. No, you can't. You probably can't actually do that.
I get a lot of calls for brand sponsorships, but a lot of them, I have to like make sure they're real.
It seems like at this part he reveals that a lot of people are fucking with him and giving him fake brand deals.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. So as part of my collab with Icon Case.
Yeah, I remember one of the things where they did it to Daniel Larson. They don't think that he got like a Sony. This is not funny, but I'm gonna end up laughing. It's so messed up. But he ended up they trolled him into thinking that he was going to work for Sony. And then they convinced him to get nude on a live stream. So that was something there. So.
You can now buy a personalized message.
But I think it's like worse for Daniel Larson because my understanding is he doesn't just have autism; he also has schizophrenia. So
you give me a script and I'll say it. It's only $10. Go to iconcases.co or click Icon Cases in the description.
Then we get to meet Josh's grandfather, Vincent, his legal guardian at the time. This man comes on the interview and you can hear how proud he is of his grandson's accomplishments online. It's very impressive. I mean, this is like adorable for one and wholesome.
He started TikTok, I think, in 2018. In October last year, they start paying their stars a few cents per views. So he's got 46 million views, okay? So he's making quite a bit of money.
He admires his ability to make a living doing what he does. And more than that, we learn more about how Josh's grandfather had to fight for Josh to have the same opportunities as his peers.
I said, well, I have to tell you, I see intelligence here and I see things about Josh that probably is not being displayed too readily. So could we give him a trial period?
In school, Josh was going to be placed in one of the most restrictive classes of students because of his learning and social issues due to autism. In spite of that, his grandfather was still expecting this when he was eventually approached by the director of pupil services and presented a portfolio of Josh's photography.
All right, so when I sat down with the director of pupil services, I was prepared for her. I knew what was coming. So I had a portfolio, Josh's portfolio. And Josh is a good photographer, which is part of the what he puts together to be successful. She already predetermined that Josh would be in the most restrictive class as he was in Virginia Beach.
Honestly, seeing Josh's photography.
I mean, I wouldn't know the specifics. Maybe he needed a more restrictive class. It doesn't mean that he wasn't great at photography. You know, sometimes people have a special interest that they're very good at. So
photography feels like a fucking weird glimpse into another timeline where, unfortunately, we didn't go down this route. We didn't turn right to like the fantasy nice kingdom. We turned left into the dark fantasy scary kingdom where toxic internet ruins your entire life and might even kill you and hurt people around you or something. I'm not really sure, but it's crazy.
We got the
Bro, you're not good at like cinematography. Here, you gotta show
Okay,
it.
I know.
Tell him how strong the Everclear is.
I'm trying to post it.
why so mean? I don't understand. Oh, that's that Mr. Bass guy. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, there's also a problem with like an entire network of, in general, there's a whole problem with like an entire network of stuff online, like on Kick, basically, where these streamers get like they get praise for like just degenerate shit behavior too. So that's another problem.
It's 190 per.
Oh, you got to tell everyone to get into my new
Hold
YouTube.
on, I will.
Tell them on this one. It's called Mr. Bass Live on YouTube.
Wrong turn! So this portfolio, paired with Vincent, Josh's grandfather's advocacy for his bright mind and potential, allowed him to participate in regular classes with help from Vincent.
I said, well, I have to tell you, I see intelligence here and I see things about Josh.
I mean, that's good advocation. You know, one of the biggest issues I think that we have in general, people with disabilities, is that we don't provide enough productive stress. You know, I remember there was a whole initiative. People made fun of it on TikTok, which was stupid, but it was actually really smart. Where there's a person with Down syndrome was talking about how the reason that I can't do things is because you don't think I can do things, and so you don't teach me to do things, which is really true. I mean, we already know that education is going to have a profound impact on outcomes. So if you look at somebody and say, well, because you have a disability, we're going to discount you, and we're not going to try to, you know, maybe teach you to the best of, you know, your ability, you're not going to be able to reach your maximum potential, even if the potential isn't necessarily the same as everybody else's. You know, you're not exactly helping somebody. You're really just coddling them in that capacity. Thank you so much for the Small gut from Hugh Janus on YouTube. Thank you so much. And thank you for the donation. It's on TikTok. Thank you, Brady, for the boiling cauldron. I appreciate that.
That probably is not being displayed too readily. So could we give him a trial period? I said, trust me, I'll work with you.
Josh, with the help of his grandfather Vincent, was on the honor roll every quarter and made the most of all opportunities to succeed.
So
God
after
bless.
2 months, he got his first report card, and he was on the honor roll. And now he's been on the honor roll every quarter since he started. So, let's see, 12, 14 quarters already.
I mean, that's fantastic. Yeah, see, Josh seems like I wouldn't doubt it at all.
And he's completed all his Regents requirements too.
This mini doc is so strange because I would have a totally different perspective on Josh and did before filming this video, before watching this. This makes this so much more sad now. It makes it his teachers at school raving about him in spite of the challenges that he faced and had to overcome with his grandfather.
I absolutely know how many followers he has. Well, at least the last time Josh told me.
What a gift and a curse, huh? For Josh, it seems to be more of a curse. A bright. I didn't realize how bright he was. I mean, I did watch that video, but I guess I didn't internalize that. That's crazy. That does make it much more
How many
sad.
followers he has. So I'll start off class asking, how's your weekend? How are things going? And of course, Josh is always like, did you see my TikTok? I'm like, Josh, I don't follow you on TikTok. All right, but I've heard great things. He says, I just eclipsed 1 million followers. I had like 1.4 million followers. I think that's the last time I checked. He had 1.4 million. And I'm like, that's incredible. And then I did go onto TikTok and I looked at some of his videos. 750,000 views, 1 million views. It's like, people are latching onto this kid because he's entertaining and he's real. And that's just what it is.
His business teacher said some really nice stuff. Josh, once an introvert, was a thriving human. Successful success story, awesome TikToker.
I did meet Josh, early on when he was in 9th grade. I would say that Josh has definitely grown as an individual. When I first met Josh, Josh was very quiet. Josh was very introverted. I've had him in my marketing course when he was in 10th grade, and Josh started to blossom. Josh was all about making a public appearance. He always wanted to try to make a difference.
Speaking of business and the entrepreneurship of Josh.
Oh, what'd you do?
Public appearance. He always wanted to try to make a difference.
Speaking of business and the entrepreneurship of Josh, he was active in business-related extracurriculars.
I think he has put himself out there in a big way. He is a big part of our cross-country and track program here. He is also...
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but he definitely still utilizes that. This guy walks like the length of Long Island. I swear to God. If this was like hundreds of years ago, he would have been the person that discovered like the entirety of the island. Like he would have been the one to write maps, I swear to God.
Also a very big part of a lot of our business programs and our extracurricular business programs here at Patrick Medford. And he has just, he has gotten himself, I think, out there, on social media, which has made a big difference for him with a lot of the student population here.
Have you ever thought about where his name, World of T-Shirts, comes from? Well, it's because he wanted to sell T-shirts with his photography on them. It makes perfect sense.
I'm selling T-shirts with my photography on it, and I named the TikTok account.
I've never seen a single one of his T-shirts, unfortunately. Isn't that crazy? I did not know that he sold T-shirts with his photography on it.
World of T-shirts in order to promote that business.
Josh also was a varsity cross-country runner, which is massively difficult. That's impressive. It's an impressive suite of skills.
We finished up our meet yesterday where he, again, ran very well, and we beat Longwood. And as we're walking to the bus, the Longwood's girls team came running over and asking, Joshua, can we take a picture? And he actually refused them it was kind of like a celebrity going to the bus. I got to get on the bus.
So yeah, interesting light there.
Damn, he's macking it, dude. I didn't know he had that much, what would we call that? Charisma. That's incredible.
I will put the link to that documentary in the description box.
Josh isn't getting distracted by those thoughts, you know what I'm saying?
Down below if you guys want to go watch it. It's from 2021. It's been a couple years, been about 3 years since that came out. We've come to realize that there's a lot of difficulties now plaguing Josh's life that he hasn't had much luck in staving off, and he's surrounded by incredibly toxic people and even the fans who in real life with him. It makes me, I skip most videos that are Josh related. It's like I can't really watch it.
Get a job, bitch.
She seems nice. Should I give her?
I make $5,000 a month.
Should I give her some?
Damn, went from 8 to 5. Incredible stuff. Still a decent income. Still a decent income, dude.
Honey, she seems nice. Are you sure?
No, it's not fair that I make money fair and square.
Oh, Josh, I gotta eat something. You wanna eat something?
I'll get a slice of pizza.
Me too.
It's not fun. It's f***ed up, and it's
Better be paying for that pizza for me, boy.
sad, and I don't really know how to feel about it. Like sometimes it's like, now you're in New York. Like that's fun.
Yeah, in New York. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Right, that thing's fun, and the dancing was fun, and this stuff was fun, but this isn't fun.
What the f are you doing, Josh?
I'm damaging his car.
Whose car?
Why?
Josh, get the f off that car, you lunatic.
I'm not a
Is this Michael Quinn?
lunatic. Josh, what the is wrong with you?
And this is not fun either. I don't like this very much. All right, I don't like this very much.
Did he just kick you?
He kicked my girlfriend.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Josh is having his big old crash out, man. He definitely needs help.
Is that Josh?
Josh, what the is wrong?
I mean, I wonder if he would even be receptive to to particular services if he was able to get them, because you know he's. I just wonder if he would necessarily, because one of the things that he'd have to do is disengage pretty significantly from content creation in order to help with his like now behavioral problems with what he's got going on.
With you, you're losing it, bro. You gotta apologize to these people. Never. What?
Sorry, did you just say put the fries in the bag? What a stupid fucking meme. Oh my god.
To rewind a bit to Josh's come up back in the documentary times, there were still some warning signs and early red flags. He just wanted to be famous and self-employed. That was his two main goals in life, it seemed.
Shit, I just want money. I don't even care about being famous, man. Who wants the stress, you know?
That he regularly espoused.
Whether it's continuing with the influencer career or starting my own business, I don't want to work for someone. I want to be my own boss.
To be able to do those things, you got.
I get that, but it probably helps to maybe work for somebody else for a while as you kind of figure it all out, you know?
Make sacrifices, and you got to do some crazy shit. And if you're already getting a bunch of fake brand deals, you're probably going to get offers from people who are going to take advantage of you, etc., etc. And it all boils down to the fact that if this is your mind,
who's that guy filming? Was that Michael Quinn or was that Mr. Bass guy? Because it seems like everybody who attaches themselves to Josh is like legitimately problematic.
mindset, any kind of attention
for the baby penguin, Owen,
is better than no attention at all. There's no such thing as bad publicity, people say, for some reason. Logan Paul and KSI, he would start to do some wild shit, like putting on lip plumper just for clout.
I noticed that you've made like videos of you putting on like makeup and things like that.
Lip plumper.
Yeah. Or did you just want to do it?
Did you feel pretty, or what's going on with that, bud?
But randomly.
That's cool. Good for you.
I just decided to do it for clout.
That makes sense.
Josh would do whatever could be considered entertainment. For example,
yeah, you don't want to get into that area. You kind of have to keep that mentality that you're willing to, you know, not be famous, or else you're going to kind of go off the deep end. You really, you know, I have that mentality like, oh, I might have to get a real job one day, you know, a real adult job if this doesn't work out.
Example, stomp on.
Because if you don't do that, then you could legitimately like end up going down like a very bad pathway. If you're not willing to keep that mentality on there, because you don't want to be doing things just for that kind of attention. It's okay to do some things for attention, but you don't really want to be doing, you know, like whatever. I don't care. You're gonna dress up like a girl. I don't really give a shit. But you know that can spiral into hitting people on the streets. You know,
on a fish because people filming him would laugh at him for doing so. He got in a lot of trouble for that one. People were really.
Oh yeah, I remember the whole fish thing. I wish I wasn't so hard on Josh over that fish. That was pretty messed up. I mean, he stomped like the life out of a fish. It was pretty fucked up, honestly. But I still like feel bad for being as aggressive about it myself personally, you know. But
mad at him, and he had.
I remember I was like somewhat of a large driving force when it came to that fish thing. I wish I wasn't, you know. I wish I wasn't, but I wasn't as educated back then, I'll say.
Bit of a meltdown. And that was like the first kind of big meltdown. It was like the first big Josh drama that I remember. Then the fame started to get to Josh's head a little bit, and he'd start charging $50 for photos and videos of people.
That's probably not a good idea, just from like a content creation perspective, because you know you're restricting your fans from having that brand awareness onto you, which you obviously don't want to do.
Dollars.
Make sure, okay? I'm reliable. I'll do the video.
Where's Venmo work?
It's cash. I don't have Venmo. I have Cash App.
Do I stream on TikTok? I'm streaming on TikTok right now just to try it out. So yeah. Jesus Christ.
No, I don't want you to run off without paying.
I have this really bad problem where whenever anyone talks in any way that isn't what I would consider normal, I instantly start mimicking them. For example, I have a German friend. Whenever that German friend comes around, I start mimicking them. And it's probably very disrespectful. That's why I just don't talk to British people.
Based. That's also why I don't talk to British people. No other reason.
When I'm
live on YouTube, I always live on here. No, this is my first time doing this for actual content. Usually I just I've been trying to dual stream this week. I'm seeing how TikTok is.
Bazinga, guys. That's right, Bazinga. I should delete my channel. To be honest, holy shit. This is perhaps where the worst problems begin now. The drinking problems.
I'm drinking like there's no tomorrow. How strong is a teapot?
Carol, don't let her teapot. It's fucking strong.
I am a teetotaler. I do not drink. I think drinking is bad. And I'm a fun hater. I don't like having fun. I don't like drunk people, etc., etc., etc. So this whole thing is like very clearly massive bad.
I like to drink sometimes. The problem is I'm fat and diabetic. So one of the problems I have is being fat and diabetic. So then I have to piss so much when I drink. It's so annoying.
He's going to get taken advantage of, and he's going to be out of his mind. And this is where that began, though. That's probably going to be the begin and the end. It will result in the end, unfortunately, as it does for many people. So yeah, the drinking, really bad. The first genuinely bad thing that people really hated him for was the fish thing, though. All right?
Yeah, okay, I apologized. Why don't we just end it? Stop with the cancel culture.
True.
I'm down
Based.
like 8,000 followers because of this shit.
And he gave a fairly half-hearted apology to that incident, saying that he was framed, which is so funny to me. I love that. I was framed!
Look, I was set up. I was set up.
There might have been a level of truth to that. Like, I don't know. I forget exactly what it was, what the excuse was, but like somebody might have asked him to do it, or the fish was dead, or I don't know.
He recorded it and posted it as an excuse
I just wanted fish sticks.
to try and cancel me.
I guess he means that he was told to do it by f***ing idiots on the internet, and he just did it. Obviously, whatever sort of lack of inhibition.
Well, I think there was a guy there, and I think his argument was that guy there like asked him to do it. So
he has from whatever, whether he may be drunk or intoxicated or he's autistic or whatever the impossible to know how this man's brain works, other than knowing that it doesn't work in a normal way, in a predictable way. That's for sure, right? We can guarantee that at this point. This was the first big problem that people had against Josh, and he was more concerned about losing followers than expressing regret. And this, in unison with the charging money, people started to think that all this name's got to just head this guy. But like, I really don't believe that he knows any better. Genuinely, unfortunately.
I don't think that. I think that's a little too reductionist. I think he knows better to an extent. I think that like it's a fish, and he doesn't necessarily have a level of human empathy for a fish, which is like understandable. I get that. I don't think Josh is completely incapable of understanding what he did was wrong. You know, I just don't. He probably didn't think it was as bad as he thought.
It's pretty up, but like that's. I mean, obviously you should know better. You're famous and stuff. New York or what? I don't know. He also talked about.
Well, nothing to do with fame. I mean, like he's still like an adult. I think he still kind of have an understanding that, stomping a fish to death is probably not a good thing. It's probably not a positive thing.
Slander and cease and desist and threatening to get accounts banned for exposing him. This is the beginning of the end, genuinely. The end's been going on for quite a while. Not only was this the first big drama, this was also the first taste that we got of the violent side of Josh, something that's been very prevalent in recent history.
I'm not! I am blind! You're not stealing! I'll egg your home! I'll ruin you!
He's been abusing alcohol massively to increasingly worrying degrees. He cannot function currently without a drink in his hand. He shakes terribly. He's got like marks on his face. It's like he's on other things as well. It wasn't always to drink though. He once had a fascination with Starbucks coffee cups. I'm assuming until the boycott. This would go on daily, if not multiple.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if Josh necessarily cares about the boycott. I don't think I would expect him to really care that much about it.
Multiple times a day. This habit drained his bank account. He was so addicted to boba tea and coffee. He wrote a song about how much he loved them.
Wake up in the morning, throw some clothes on, check my phone, run out the door. Where do I go? Of course, to get some coffee and some boba tea.
And you just replace those things with alcohol. He traded them for alcohol.
I heard he also liked avocado toast, guys. Crazy, right?
Coffee and boba? Nope. How about fucking grog and drink? Fucking Putin. All right?
With me, drink for the year, drink for the laughter, drink for the cheers.
Josh turned 21 in August of 2022 and uploaded a TikTok video in anticipation of his birthday. The video offers a foreshadowing with
terrible at twerking. I actually am an expert at twerking. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm not gonna show anybody, but
lyrics to the song playing over his dancing, saying,
he also pro-Trump. He posted a video. Okay, I mean, whatever. God bless him.
Welcome to my dark side.
Cross my heart and hope to die. Welcome to my dark side.
And the top comment on this video is, "We're all doomed." It could not have been more accurate, unfortunately.
I'm fucking done!
Josh, you gotta be careful, buddy. You can't run out into the street like that.
This is where the drinking really started to escalate, like an escalator. You know how escalators work, how they go up? You know how that works? Good. I just taught you. Every day's a good day where you learn something. Smash alike. Josh hopped on the bottle, and things started to deteriorate massively and very quickly for him.
Fuck you! Oh, fuck you!
You're a racist piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine it'd probably be additionally difficult for him to deal with the withdrawals too.
Piece of shit! Oh, fucking piece of shit! Fuck you!
So we got Josh, famous TikToker.
What is happening? Oh, inactivity reported on my TikTok live studio. What are you supposed to do on TikTok live studio in order to maintain what they consider activity? What?
We all know what happens when people become famous. You get orbiters. Your gravitational field increases, your clout potential, as your mass grows, your subscriber count, and people start to orbit planetary bodies. And these people are called clout chasers.
Yeah, I mean, not, well, yeah, I guess they are cloud chasers. It just depends on what kind of orbit it is. But a lot of people just kind of like would find him just to harass him.
Goblins, content predators, whatever you want to call them. Josh has been unfortunately parasitically infected by many a clout goblin.
True.
It's f***ed up!
You could be taking all my money from all my accounts.
I'm not.
I know, but you're like going like a man.
You probably should, because that should be his money. Like, I don't understand.
Man in my phone. I don't touch your phone.
Hold on.
Give me my phone.
Look, hold on. Can't you see?
I think this guy's more afraid that Josh is going to see how much money he makes off of him, and then be like, "Oh, wait, that's crazy. How come I'm not making more money?" Thank you for all the roses, by the way.
I'm trying to work.
I mean, what the f***? I get it, right? Like, that's how you start a channel and stuff, but like, if you're taking advantage of Josh Block, you're a piece of shit. Let's be real.
He's not even staying in New York. He's in New Jersey. He's never figured it out.
Easy sent $15. Josh is due for a haircut. Josh, remember your manners when you're in Mr. Rizzler's home. Also stop picking your nose.
And retrieve it, okay?
Your passport?
Yeah, they dox me.
No, they're lying.
People, unfortunately, have constantly antagonized Josh, whether they film him or film themselves messing with him. But there's nothing more dangerous than someone who just preys on someone like Josh for their own gain. One of these planetary bodies, one of these heavenly bodies. Of course, these people convince the host that they are, they have their best interests at heart. We've already seen how this can result with people like Daniel Larson. People get close, try to be his manager to gain access.
Yeah, manager. They to get access to his stuff, and then to like fake some of the things that he like may or may not like or follow. They take like his money, shit like that. Yeah.
To social media, bank accounts, power of you, etc. Then they can take advantage. All right, they got clouded up.
Please leave. You are not security. No, you're not. I will literally have my security press charges on you. You're not security. You're not security. No, you're not.
Imagine being the manager of Daniel Larson. I'd put that on my LinkedIn, my resume. All right, motherfuckers. Talk about being a master of the universe. Josh has also had predatory individuals enter his life and position themselves as friends in very public ways. One of these individuals is a guy named Michael Quinn.
Yes, Michael Quinn is such a scumbag, dude. I feel like people don't talk about it enough. He was never a good guy. I hate that guy. Like, he legitimately was taking advantage of this. I remember when he like stole Josh's or hid Josh's like suitcase after they got off a flight or something, and then pretended that he had lost it so he would be distressed and like run around looking for it. It was messed up.
Michael originally antagonized Josh to a lesser degree than some. But would worm his way into Josh's life to a degree of having almost mentor-manager type relationship with him, and even sometimes a father-son relationship. Michael would take Josh out partying and drinking at these different parties and drinking places, clubs.
We're sober! We're drinking lemonade! We're sober!
Michael would even pressure Josh to drink when Josh didn't want to.
I think it's time for a drink.
I haven't drank. Give the best tours in the world. I went to bed early. You didn't drink today at Hoboken? I didn't drink in Hoboken.
That's a good accomplishment.
For the show.
I appreciate that. That's good of you. You can bring beers next time, Yeah.
And when people tried to warn Josh that Michael Quinn was not good for him, Michael spun himself as the hero and tried to gaslight Josh into thinking that these people were torturing him.
I know you trolls are like torturing him. Like, why would you do that? Why would you torture them?
Mike is such a piece of shit, dude. I really hate this guy.
I'm taking care of this kid, and you torture him? Why?
Also, Michael's an old man. It's something really common about this whole Josh Block thing. Old dudes take advantage of him. Not young people. Not evil young people. Old people.
Well, it's because old, pathetic people who are desperate to be like some kind of famous that are the ones that are harassing him more than anything else.
People who should know better. Old people. This is the saddest shit. Look at this guy. What a f***ing piece of shit. This guy is old.
I'm Joshua Block with Flavors of New York. We are at Artichoke Pizza.
On 14th Street, I'm Michael Quinn with Flavors of New York with my sidekick. Let's head inside. Let's do it.
I don't know how old, and I don't...
It's so weird because, like, it's interesting the type of people that do this. Because if you wanted to be, like, friends with Josh because he's like, oh, he's famous, and maybe I can make content with him, and it would be kind of cool, and we could have fun together, I don't really see necessarily a problem with that. Like, I don't have an issue with that, but they always take it to this level where they abuse and like harass the fuck out of him. It's insane.
I don't mean to say old isn't bad. I know a lot of old people that are really cool. For example, me, I'm pretty old too. What the fuck? This is like teenager behavior. Fortunately, a large subset of Josh's community does actually care for him because he's a human being, and they have called Michael Quinn out as a groomer online for his incredible.
Well, I don't know about a groomer, but he's definitely a piece of shit.
Predatory behavior over someone who is vulnerable, like Josh. To put it into perspective, Michael Quinn facilitated a meetup between Josh Block and Daniel Larson.
Say hello. This is Joshua Block. Let's see you shake hands. Shake hands, guys. Hey, Daniel. Good to see you, buddy. How you feeling? What's it like to meet Josh in person?
New York! Daniel Larson, also a victim of the Quinn effect to some degree, with Michael schmoozing him with drinks.
Thank you, Michael Quinn, for buying me 7 margaritas tonight.
It's called the Quinn effect. It's a real thing. There's videos about it. It's crazy. This guy's a piece of shit. If you have any terrible things that you associate with Joshua Block, generally, those terrible things occurred after Michael Quinn entered the picture. Josh's before and after is shocking.
Today's Monday the 13th. Yup, Monday the 13th. Anyone suffering from monotriskaidekaphobia, comment below.
What the hell does that even mean?
Say I'm an alcoholic, but I'm not an alcoholic. I might have a...
Dude, he's like drunk right there. You could tell that he's slurring his words, you know? And I know he sometimes has a little bit of a, you know, but it's definitely alcohol related. The fuck?
Problem, but I'm not an alcoholic.
Michael Quinn was evil, but he seemed to step out of the spotlight for a bit with speculation on the World of T-Shirt subreddit.
Yeah, because I think that people were getting wise to him, and he was like, "Oh, I can't get away with it anymore." So,
theorizing that this was possibly due to a gig of some kind getting canceled after the location's owners found out what kind of person Quinn was, and perhaps a girlfriend telling him to distance himself from Josh and TikTok. These are speculative theories. I hope it's just because he realized that he's too old for this type of nonsense. But probably not.
They could have done something fun, like Big AJ. You know what I mean? Wait, that dad. What's the other guy's name? Why can't I not remember that? Big Justice and AJ. That's what, not Big AJ. Big Justice and AJ. They could have done something fun like that. And the Rizzler. But instead, we got whatever this is.
So I'm really sad today. Josh and I, we're not friends anymore. You know, he's mad that I use all his tour money for my lavish trips to pimp him out. And I tell him to quit drinking.
April Fools!
Are you sure Josh is the one with disabilities? Yeah, maybe a disability to make dough, make bread.
Unemployed brats! I make $80K a month, okay?
Josh's issues have blown up massively.
Say 8K? I think 8K.
From this point, you can see, judging by the clips that we've showed you in this video, Josh rarely seems cognizant of what he is doing and aware of his surroundings, etc.
Wait before I beat
Well, he's just like horribly drunk. I think that's really what it is.
Oh, way, dude.
And this leads into Mr. Based, a incredibly exploitative person as well.
Got your ass up.
Yeah, motherfucker.
I have your IP
Oh.
address. I'll send it to the FBI and
The FBI, okay. The federal booby inspector. Well, I'd love a job.
you arrested for cyberbullying.
Not quite as bad as Michael Quinn.
Shit, I mean, he's probably unjustified there, but maybe there should be like a cyberbullying unit for the FBI, you know, that catches people who do stuff like harass some people with disabilities, depending on what they do to harass them.
Yes, but I mean, it's apples and oranges, really. It's like two different kind of fucking shitheads. Like, this is, I can't imagine being this guy or this guy. Two old dudes. Two old people how many people are out there like this? How many fucking goblins live amongst us?
Among Us reference? That's incredible. I don't know, man. There's a lot of people who want that fast track to success, and they want to be popular, they want to be famous, and they'll do anything to get to that point, you know?
What is happening here? Why is this not like 18-year-olds taking advantage of him because they're young and like, what the fuck? Mr. Based is one of the most exploitative individuals I've ever met in my entire scene in my whole life. All right,
Shame on you! I'll sue your ass for millions of fucking dollars!
Whoa!
If he isn't trying to...
I could handle millions of regular dollars. Fucking dollars? That's too much for me.
Get Joshua Block killed, then I don't know what he's doing.
Josh, don't end it. Don't end it, Josh. No, don't end it. Please, no, it's so good. It's so good.
This guy is trying to get this young man murdered, or to get him to die of alcohol, cirrhosis of the liver, or something like that.
Opera Red Arc sent $30. Rest in peace, Captain.
Josh needs a real one. Josh needs an actual friend, someone who cares about him, to tell him, hey, this is a really bad idea. You can make funny content and do crazy shit and still be be famous. But unfortunately, maybe at this point, it's too late. Maybe people just want to see the unraveling and the downfall out of morbid curiosity. Can you really blame them? This is the programming that we're...
I mean, I think it would be kind of difficult for, I mean, Josh to make a drastic content shift now might not necessarily be that easy. I don't think he hasn't figured out too much, and I don't know how successful he'd be in the short term as he figured it out. I mean, he would really need somebody to like help him out in general, but it can be difficult to like be friendly with Josh. You know, I know somebody who was like friendly with Josh, and it can be very difficult to try to help somebody. That's why these people take advantage of him, because they don't want to help him. They want to just take advantage of him for as much money as possible. That's literally it.
All accustomed to, I guess. It's a good word for it. We're used to it. This is normal.
Mr. Bates, how does it feel to exploit a young disabled person like Josh for abuse?
Disabled!
Just go to rehab, just go to rehab, Josh, go to rehab,
Disabled!
Josh, go to rehab,
Jesus.
Josh, go to rehab, Josh, go to rehab, Josh, go to rehab.
Disabled! I'm gonna fucking ruin you! I'll ruin you!
Yeah, let's watch this.
Jesus, man, that's terrible. It's interesting. I mean, Jesus Christ, I've never seen him screech like that about that. I mean, it makes sense. I can understand being sensitive about like your disability, but oh my God, I've never seen him get that frustrated.
Anyways, I'll go on about my day. I'm on Amazon Prime. I can get a package in 2 days. Yes, I would love 8 more years of consumerism. Recently, with Joshua Block's life and career unraveling at breakneck speeds, Mr. Based has become a central figure in this downfall. Genuinely a downfall, focusing more on creating content than the well-being of Joshua Block, a young man who is right now. Instead of supporting Josh during his darkest moments, Mr. Beast exploits his vulnerability
Mr. Beast? Mr. Based, I think his name is?
for views as much as he possibly can. There's been
Not Mr. Beast.
numerous instances where Josh was visibly sick, hallucinating, or suffering from alcohol poisoning actively, but Mr. Beast's response,
Why does he keep calling him Mr. Beast?
Based response was to film rather than help him, not Mr. Beast. Sorry.
Say hi to Laura.
What the f? Ah! Help it! Stop!
Are you hallucinating?
Make it stop!
What's happening? What's happening?
How do I make it stop?
Make what stop, Josh?
Let go of me.
Come on in, come on in. Frankie, stop. If you can lay him in my bed right back there.
Can you help me out?
Yes, of course I can. You're amazing. Here,
Mr. Based. How many times have I said Mr. Beast? I'm a f***ing idiot. Might as well be. There's videos of Josh vomiting, passing out, drunk, or struggling to stay
I guess you truly are the Mr. Based now.
conscious that have been posted online where Mr. Based is capturing the moment, reveling in it. When Josh fell over in the street, Mr. Based was there with a camera in his face.
Ah! Oh, no, 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 no! Ow!
Come here, let me
Ow! Help me!
Come here, hold me.
One of the more disturbing
Christ.
patterns that we've noticed was how
Well, I mean, one of the disturbing patterns is going to be that people probably they like this downfall, so they probably donate more money when he's doing shit like this.
Mr. Based allowed Josh's psychotic episodes to play out in public without restraining him or getting him actual help. I mean, he is legitimately in a psychosis. He's developed a tick where he bites
Because
himself.
this guy wants him to have these meltdowns. He wants him to have meltdowns. He wants him to get hurt. He wants to do whatever he can to toe that line between this guy getting hurt just enough for money and Twitter views, because you know that he's probably putting it all over Twitter. But not too hurt to not be able to stream with him anymore. That's literally it. I mean, he has him into a situation where he's pretty much completely dependent onto him. Do you think it's at all possible that Joshua is, to an extent, playing things up for the camera? No, not really. Honestly, I don't think that he's playing things up for the camera. I mean, it could be a thing, I suppose, but I don't know if I necessarily believe that.
No! 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 Stop it!
I think he's having like legitimate meltdowns. I mean, maybe he's not, but it seems like he is.
Stop, play the game. A sponsor.
No! 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 No!
I mean, this behavior looks like somebody going through, like having like an episode that has like an intellectual disability. Or is it, I don't know if it's developmental. A person in the IDD community, we'll say it like that.
This guy needs help from professionals. I can't believe the failure of the mental health system in New York, the failure of the people who are just egging him on for this.
I don't know if I necessarily consider it a failure of the mental health system. He has to get himself put into it. We're kind of at a point, like, if you have a disability, like, you have the ability to say no, like, just to be clear. So Josh would have to willingly insert himself into disability services. See if he qualifies, which I think he would, and then he would need to get help, but he probably wouldn't want to, because part of his behavioral protocol would be you can't make content anymore, or at least not like this, or you can't associate yourself with certain people, and I don't think that he would be necessarily willing to do that.
Mr. Based The other guy, the Quinn, dude, it's like we're watching a train wreck live in
This is definitely rough.
4K, documented every single day on TikTok. And what's super is if you look at Josh's TikTok, it seems relatively normal. It's like, got my toes in the water, ass in the sand, not a worry in the world, a cold beer in my hand. Like it's kind of, oh, it's 5 o'clock somewhere type content. And then you see a third perspective from someone on the street filming him and he's like, ah! And he's running around attacking people. People are attacking him. Mr. Bass is there just jacking it or whatever he does. He's been chasing people, biting himself, damaging property.
What the are you doing, Josh?
I'm damaging his car.
Whose car? Josh, get the off that car, you lunatic.
Mr. Bass has stood by him, not to help, not to act as a support system, not to have any kind of positive effect on the world in any way, but to record the chaos and capitalize off of it. He's rarely intervened until he's had enough footage, and even then it was clear that his main concern was getting content and not protecting Josh and others. To make
that's how they've all been, you know? Him, Michael Quinn, all of them, you know?
matters worse, Mr. Bass frequently enables text-to-speech donations during live streams, and these donations are almost always antagonistic, hurtful.
Yeah, they're probably distressing Josh. Again, that's like a positive thing for him and his audience. I mean, let's not leave the audience out of this too. The audience likes it when Josh gets harassed. And usually audiences like this will look at somebody with a disability, and they like people that are like generally considered high functioning with a disability because they like to look at that person and go, oh, they're weird, but then assign as much as they can to this person and be like, oh, they're weird, but it's all their fault that this is happening. It's a weird thing that they do.
Full messages designed to provoke Josh into having an emotional outburst, biting himself, fading into psychosis. It's crazy.
I want a lawyer. You're paying for my lawyer, you understand? How do I get $30,000 for a lawyer? Where am I gonna get it from? No! No!
And despite knowing how much these messages upset Joshua, Mr. Bass has left the feature on purpose, obviously, watching as Joshua has become increasingly agitated for the entertainment.
It's all for the money, dude. That's what it comes down to.
Of Mr. Bass, not really the audience. It's like a very minuscule amount of people. Really, it's just for that guy's own entertainment.
I sent $3, Josh. Your cameos are horrible. You stupid alcoholic. Give me my money back.
You suck.
Josh, your cameos are horrible. You stupid alcoholic.
bitch.
Give me my money back.
Unemployed
Josh, your
rat.
cameos are horrible. You stupid alcoholic. Give me my money back.
Unemployed rat! You don't treat middle-class people like that.
Middle class. I mean, he is middle class. It's just funny.
Paycheck to paycheck. I've only been to 7 countries.
Man, I've been to one country. Well, I've been to every country because the best country is America. That's the only country you need to go to, buddy. Okay.
When Josh expressed his desire to leave America to escape the people who taunt and harass him, Mr. Bass dismissed the idea, saying he couldn't lose his content partner. It is clear that Josh's emotional and physical suffering is not a concern for this adult, mature man who probably doesn't do meth and probably doesn't get Josh to do meth. I have no idea. I don't know what those scratches on his face are from, though, but usually you only see those from people who do meth. So yeah, there's no cards on the table for Josh. He's f***ed. I mean, this is really bad. He can't obviously make decisions for himself. He's got people vulturing, circling around him, trying to take advantage of him.
Well, he can't. Well, this is the thing. Josh can make decisions for himself when he's in an atmosphere that doesn't try to take advantage of him. Right. So he can make decisions for himself if he was in an atmosphere where people were, had his best intentions around him and weren't trying to make him make bad decisions, if that makes sense. But he happens to be in an incredibly toxic sphere of people who desperately want to maintain some kind of like obnoxious YouTube or social media relevancy, like this Mr. Bass guy.
Every single turn, not just Mr. Bass or Michael Quinn or whoever else comes out of nowhere. There are also people just in public, random strangers who come up and try to pester him into getting freaked out and losing his shit so they can get their own freak out clip. Son of bitches.
I tried calling 911. Rats. I make $80K a month, okay?
There's a line a mile long of people out there trying to manipulate and exploit just pretty much anybody who's vulnerable, it seems. It's crazy. There's also a video from a small channel, which these guys are not nearly as bad as Mr. Bass or Michael Quinn. They probably just don't know any better. These are young people. And they sneak into the World of T-Shirts tour and try to go get him f***ed up and feed into that, that whole thing. I don't.
Well, they might be young people, but if they're trying to sneak in and try to get him really drunk because they find it funny in some capacity, I think that, that's obviously despicable behavior.
I personally get it because I just wouldn't drink anyways, but also from like an ethical perspective, which like if you care about that, a lot of people don't, and I totally get it. I totally understand.
Why would you get that? What?
Like your life is definitely more important than just some random ass people who probably don't exist in your mind outside of it fleeting. Like you don't have to explain it to me, guys. I understand it. Also, I know that I'm in your living room right now, so I hope you're doing well. Or on your phone. It's not as funny whenever I do it on the phone. Let me out of this iPhone 6. It's Just kidding. Once again, the line to take advantage of Josh is quite long. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. They want to fuel him with alcohol to get more destructive acts on fun camera. Long. This guy, this guy, this guy.
Yeah. What? I'm so confused.
You're poor. Just kidding. Once again, the line to take advantage of Josh is quite long. This
Okay, this guy obviously takes advantage of Josh.
guy, this guy,
This guy did.
this guy, this
I don't know why Daniel Larson's on there. I don't think he was trying to take advantage of Josh, but okay.
guy. They
Mr. Actual Beast, I think that's just a joke, but okay.
want to fuel him with alcohol to get more destructive acts on fun camera videos. Yay! Now we get to the really sad part. I pride myself in having a sixth sense where I can tell if people are sick. For example, healthy person, sick person, healthy person, sick person,
Okay.
healthy person, sick person.
True. I got that gooning disease, baby.
When I see Josh, I see someone very, very, very sick, which the whole sixth sense thing is a joke. He's deteriorated to the point where he can no longer function without alcohol. His once quirky, deadpan demeanor has given way to visible tremors of his hands. He is seen often shaking uncontrollably during his live streams. He's becoming
Just because he's so excited to have another drink, you know what I mean?
incontinent.
Dad, hard she lows. Dad, in the Navy.
He's having accidents frequently.
Change that one. Get out of the I knew that was gonna happen. Get out of your pants. I'm gonna give you these pants. So you won't wear pants, right? Come on, brother. You have to hold on because Josh is uploading a picture.
The alcohol that once seemed like a party accessory has become a necessity to this incredibly vulnerable.
He knows he's doing it, something like bad for him. I just think, I don't know how to talk to you. You're just a stupid person. I don't understand. How old are you, bro? I don't understand. Like, I have no problem if you don't feel bad for him because, like, you're a kid, obviously. But saying that he knows what he's doing, stop feeling bad for him. Like, who are you? Like, you're a child coming in here. Obviously, Josh has a different interaction with the world than the rest of us. And obviously, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. You're just like a baby. You're just a baby looking for attention, trying to stunlock me. I don't know why I'm even giving you the time of day. I really don't even understand.
Individual, and
You don't have to
without it,
feel
he
bad for
spirals
him.
into withdrawal, and it's very,
You don't have to feel bad for him if you don't want to, but it's very clear that it's more complicated, that he knows exactly what he's doing. You're saying that he's pretending to be autistic so that he can, for some kind of attention? Is that what you're saying? Like, are you fucking stupid or what?
deadly. A lot of withdrawals are not so severe. Like, you won't die from opiate withdrawal. If you stop cold turkey and are a genuine alcoholic, you will die. You can die. Seizures. Your body stops endogenously producing GABA, which is like or it stops producing as much GABA endogenously, which is like a very important neurotransmitter, and you need it. You need it. That's why you get the Sunday scaries, because your body's all out of whack. You need GABA. You shouldn't drink. It's poison, you idiots. Sorry. Drink in moderation. Poison yourself in moderation. It's hormesis. It's like working out. A little bit of damage helps. Shut up, you dumbass. Josh, like many of us, also battling nicotine withdrawal. He's been seen with Zen. He's been seen vaping.
What happens is if I don't vape or I don't
He's
Zen,
high off that Zaza, baby.
I'll get withdrawals.
Okay.
I'll get a nicotine withdrawal. It's not fun.
No, I bet not.
Zen man, Papa Zen, lip pillow, what do they call him? I don't know.
He's always been like this. I do know what I'm talking about. What does that mean? He's always been like what? He's always had an issue with the way that he interacted with the world. What does that mean? He's always been like this. I don't know what that means.
I'm more pro nicotine salts than I am. I don't like smoking. Smoking's terrible. You shouldn't do that at all, obviously. But I'm like, if you talk about any drug or anything like that, anything that is a plant, obviously, is going to be a little bit less bad. You shouldn't smoke anything. It's really bad for your lungs. But at the same time, like, you know, nicotine's pretty cool. Actually, it has like some really cool antagonistic effects in your brain, helps with some forms of neurogenesis, etc., etc., etc. You should not chain smoke, nor should you ever smoke a cigarette, but the occasional cigar or maybe a Zen or like a nicotine patch, something like that, you know. I'd rather do that than drink alcohol any day of the week. In the case of Joshua Block, it is just yet another substance to completely abuse. Josh's self-worth seems to have plummeted so drastically that he's open.
I don't care for these types of people. Yeah, that's kind of just gross. I think I'm just going to ban you from the chat. Like, you don't care for these types of people, the people with like autism? I don't understand.
He said that his hat is more valuable than his own life, which is chilling. And somehow
He has full control of what he does. Yeah, you're obviously dumb as shit. But
sort of funny. That's funny. It's not funny.
When I stream TikTok, it's my first time, brother. Well, first time for content.
That I'm laughing at this man, but it's like, wow, some guy's weird hat. It's a weird hat. It's more valuable than he feels his own life. That's the part that's not funny, is that he genuinely feels that way and people have made him feel that way. It's up, really, is what it is.
That hat is worth more than my life.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Overall, Josh's main problem is that he has so many terrible influences in his life. There's only so much you can expect from someone who is at a disadvantage, who is disabled in some sense, who struggled in the earliest parts of life and can't get ahead, and all you have is pieces of shit. Like, what do you...
Yeah, and his mom passed away too, man. There's like, that was a huge one too. He loved his mom a lot. That's probably like a pretty big central point for him. So it's sad stuff.
Expect? Of course, this is gonna end horribly. It's going to end horribly. Unless someone steps in and saves this guy, which I doubt is even possible at this point, this is going to end horribly. It ends horribly with people who are just normal, dude. This is terrible. So where are all the positive influences? For example, Vincent, his grandfather. We saw his grandfather in the mini doc from years ago. What about his other family? Is Josh alone? It seems like he's alone, unfortunately. And if you look into it, Josh's family story is just as tragic as what we are currently seeing on our screens. He came from the standard nuclear family. He had a mom, a dad, and a brother until he didn't. In 2015, his mother, Laura, passed away from cancer, and from Facebook posts from both Laura and Josh, it's clear there was a lot of love between the two of them.
I love mom. Oh, there I am, dude. Love you. Oh, this is Josh. I saw somebody took this and put this on Twitter, so it's a block. That's sad. Hi, mom. How are you? I love you. That's cute. Oh, here's Josh and the mom taking pictures with these individuals that will yell at you if you take a picture of them and don't pay them a lot of money. That's true. Money in New York.
And Josh would post...
Thank you for putting that as the main part of that video, Wombville. Really appreciate that, bud.
On his mom's birthday in 2019, honoring the celebration of her 54th
It is true, though.
birthday, but in heaven.
Dear mom, I miss you and I wish... Do I think that World of T-shirts will ever get sober? I mean, maybe. It's possible. I think he might need help getting sober. It's difficult to get over addiction in general, but... you know, with his particular extra issue, it can be extra hard. So, you a happy second anniversary in heaven. I love you so much, and we will never forget. I remember reading this, dude. I almost fucking cried. I'm not even gonna lie. I was made me like actually genuinely upset. Yeah. Damn. Love Joshua Jacob, Grandma Pa. Damn.
Josh's grandfather also talked briefly about his mom's death in the documentary before we hear Josh talk about her caring and loving nature.
He lived in Virginia Beach with his family. He has a brother
Who'd ever want to live on a beach? You know? Terrible. Beach worm.
5 years older than him. And his mother had developed ovarian cancer, and she was on chemo and lived with that for about 4 years. And she passed away in 2015.
Unfortunately, trolls found his mom's obituary page, and even as recently as 16 hours before we saw the page, someone had written, "Put the fries in the bag," in the tribute section for Joshua Block's mom's obituary, which is...
How terrible. What's worse than that is that I'm hungry now, so I might go get some fries later. So not only are you harassing Josh, but you're making me fatter.
Josh's dad, Alan, tried to care for him, but had some unclear difficulties, resulting in Josh being placed in the care of his grandfather.
His father tried to take care of Josh best he could, but he was having a lot of difficulty. So I got legal custody of Josh.
On Reddit.
It's interesting. I feel like that's a positive reframing of something that may not necessarily be as positive, but...
Purely speculative. People speculated.
It can be very difficult to help somebody with a disability. I get that, but you know.
That the nature of Alan's departure from Josh's life is due to Alan becoming addicted to drugs. Josh talked about...
that makes sense, yeah. I mean, that makes sense why he also has drug issues.
That apparently, I have no proof of that. This is just pure...
Might be like a biological aspect, so...
Pure speculation. It's in the video, whatever. I don't know if Josh talked about it. It's sad either way. One may think Josh's older brother, Jacob, who is 5 years older than Josh, would be a strong guiding person for him.
Oh my God, is that Jacob from Twilight?
But Jacob lives in Virginia Beach and seems to have his own issues. Josh has talked about his brother in a clip from, you guessed it, Mr. Bay's stream. Jake is 28 years old and has been institutionalized, and Josh says that he's sick, but people said that he's schizophrenic.
Maybe his like the father's side has like a history of some kind of like issue, like mental health issue. Maybe the dad was what is it called? Self-medicating or something.
Which I cannot confirm. Once again, all speculation, but it's a bad outlook.
My older brother, he's 28 years old.
They say he's in rehab. Is that a lie?
No, he's not. He doesn't drink.
Is he a good guy?
Yeah.
Can I meet him one day?
He lives in Virginia Beach.
What does he do?
I'd say that's probably not a good idea, considering the reason why you probably want to meet him.
He's really sick. Like,
I'm sorry, bro. How much older than you is he?
I'm 23, he's 28.
It's a bad outlook, and
yes, that was
will either win.
That's what I mean. The dad might have been self-diagnosing for something.
And with Joshua being institutionalized, which I hope that happens. I hope he gets help that he deserves and needs, like everybody else. But by God, with people like Mr. Bass and Michael Quinn and the trolls, I mean, the world is up in general, so it's hard to care. You've only got so much care to go around without wanting to just dig yourself an early grave. So back to his grandfather, Vincent. Josh was living with him, but I'm not sure what a man in his 80s could do to stop Josh from doing something he shouldn't, or how much influence he...
Well, yeah, and I also don't know if he necessarily understands the scope of what's happening on the internet. You know, the dad may not quite understand the specifics of how his, or excuse me, the grandfather, of how Josh is being taken advantage of. You know, because it's hard to understand, like, for like an old person to understand like how the dynamics of the internet and like what's popular and this and that. You know, so he might not even see it as necessarily problematic. So
he really has. That's up. It's just bad, man. Should his grandfather make his way to Times Square to look out for his grandson? Does he even know what's going on? I'm sure he would probably have a heart attack.
I mean, he's old. He may not even be able to like have the, you know, facilities to help him out.
If you could see how far his grandson had fallen, just seeing him run around like a chicken with his head cut off, biting his arm, attacking people in the streets. I'm going to stab you. Josh did call his grandfather in a stream not that long ago while scared outside the studio of people potentially coming to stab him.
Here, let me try to get a better angle on you.
I'm at a recording studio writing a song. There's guys after me outside with knives.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, once I leave the studio, they're gonna come get me.
Mr. Based is there. He doesn't pay any worry. Instead, he dumps glitter all over the distressed Josh and live streams him talking about how scared he is and that he's too young to die. So, I don't know. What's left? Government intervention? Should he be hauled off the way that Daniel Larson was or is? Is he going to hurt somebody?
I don't think he needs to be hauled off. I think he needs somebody like in a, you know, well, I mean, it's hard. Like I said, I don't even know how receptive he would be to some kind of like a behavioral, you know, situation or being part of the system and getting help from like some kind of assisted like apartments or anything.
Is he going to stab somebody? Is he going to die of cirrhosis of the liver? He looks sick. He looks like he doesn't have much time left to me.
Well, he probably has a good amount of time left.
And I'm not a doctor, nor am I a very smart man, but by God, I tell you what, this is a sad thing. Could all this have been avoided? Of course, yeah. Of course it could have. I mean, yeah, like 100%. It's just like
it's just like an impossible situation. It could have been avoided, but he would have needed like a more robust infrastructure of his parents. His mother passed away, unfortunately, which was a big one. I mean, there's a lot that kind of just happened. I think that COVID really messed him up, man. I think COVID messed him up more than anything else.
Predictable now at this.
If he never got famous, he'd probably be doing much better than he is now.
Point. I do feel like there is a positive outcome potentially to all this, and I hope that something does happen. I hope Mr. Based grows a spine and stands up for Josh, stops exploiting him. Maybe they go the legal route with these tours and actually start doing stuff. I don't know what you really do. Is there really a value to Josh outside of the live action train wreck? I don't know, man.
Is there a value to Josh? I was at a live action train wreck. That seems a little mean. Okay.
I feel like there is. I feel like there definitely is, but it's tough to see without there being like a real example of that. I don't know. It's sad though. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. This shit bums me out. Go ahead and press the like button. Gump Club, watch uncensored versions. Go to sour.gg, buy some candy. I'll see you guys in the next one.
And
it seems like
and just jork it. All right, man. Good video. Overall, I feel bad for Josh and hope he gets the help that he needs. So.